Okay, so what we did is we just found the point where these lines intersected on Desmos, and every time you get a point, you can check to make sure that your solution is correct. Okay, so we're going to learn how to do this also by hand, but remember that Desmos is something that you're going to be using when you do the PSAT. So if this is your solution, can anybody tell me what the variables are? 2 would be what variable? Yes, good. And then 1 is the y. So what we're going to do is we're going to write out the first equation. Okay, so equation 1 is y equals 1/2 x. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to plug in 1 for y and 2 for x. So go ahead and substitute your y and then your x in. Okay, so instead of y equals, what should your equation start with? 1. Yep, good. 1 equals
1 over 2 times 2.
And then once you do that, once you plug in your 1, you're just going to see what this is going to simplify to, okay? So there's nothing I can do on this side, right? This is just 1. But what can I do with the 1/2 and 2? What can I do with 1/2 and 2? Thank you. Multiply them. Okay. When you multiply on your calculator, remember the 1/2 has to be in parentheses. But do you guys want to know how you can do that without your calculator? When you multiply by 1/2, you just take half of that number. So what's half of 2? 1. So it's just 1. Okay. So this says 1 equals 1. Is that true? Okay, so if it's true, okay, both sides will be the same. That's how we know that that answer works for the first equation. And then we're going to do the same thing for the second equation. So y equals negative x plus 3. So again, you're going to plug in 1 for y and then 2 for x. Okay, so I'll give you a moment to do that. And then again, there's going to be one side that you can simplify. Okay, so simplify that side. Okay, so several of you got here. Now, one side you can simplify. So the side with two numbers, negative 2 plus 3, that's going to be what? 1. Yay. Okay, so is this true? Yep, so if it's true, that means your solution is correct. Okay, so for the second one, you're going to choose one of the other three solutions to check. Okay, so if we want, we did box 4 together, so we can do the solution for the fourth box that we got was 5, 2. And you're going to plug in the values for x and y. So now your x and your y are different. Your x is going to be 5, your y is going to be 2. Your equations are also different. So equation 1 is 2x plus y equals 12. Equation 2 is negative 3y minus x equals negative 11. Okay, so we're going to plug those in and simplify. Will you guys check your format and just make sure that you have it plugged in correctly? You could also put a times in between them. Okay, and what is 10 plus 2? 12. Okay, so if you get a statement that's true, it works for that equation. Okay, so we found the solutions here. That's why we keep getting that they're both true. That is not always going to be the case. If they're both true, okay, then you know that your solution works. But sometimes we're going to have to test solutions, and that's what we're going to do on the back page today. Okay, so we're going to flip it over. And we're going to tell whether this given pair is a solution of the system. So this is how systems are written. I know that's new for us. So a system of equations has two equations. We're going to check equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so the top one, this is equation 1. I'm going to be abbreviating equations like this. And this is your equation 2. Okay, now the point that they give you is going to be your xy. So what am I going to plug in for x here? 5. What am I going to plug in for y? 2. Okay, so when you're checking equation 1, you have 2/5, and then instead of x, let's write parentheses. And then you have minus y equals 0. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use our calculator to multiply this, but you're going to see something special happen. So go ahead and multiply that on your calculator. When we did 2/5 times 5. Ryan, help us out. What'd you get there? Okay, I'll give you another minute to do it. Just let me know when you got it. Okay, so you guys can use your calculator, and then Ryan, what'd you get when you used your calculator for that? Good. Now another way you could do it. Let's say you don't have a calculator, right? You're working on something, you don't have a calculator. Okay, so what you could do is you could just multiply your fractions straight across, because what's 2 times 5? 10. What's 5 times 1? 5. So what's 10 divided by 5? 2. Okay, so this would be 2 minus 2. Is 2 minus 2 0? Yep. Okay, so it works for this one. We have to make sure it works for both of them. So in a system, sometimes it works for one equation and not in the other equation. Okay, so for equation 2, you have 3x minus y equals 13. Okay, so the x is 5, the y is 2. Okay, and then what's 3 times 5 going to be, Gabe? What'd you get for 3 times 5? 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. Okay, so if the numbers are the same on both sides, then it's true. If both are true, then it's a solution. Okay, so that's the rule. If both are true, the point is a solution. Okay, so this is one of our rules because you're going to do some of this on your own. Okay, so if both are true, the point is a solution. Okay, so in this case, we would say, it says tell whether the ordered pair is a solution. We just say yes, 5, 2 is a solution. And you guys can abbreviate solution. Okay, and then you are going to do part B.